I'm sure you all have had fond memories sharing food, good food around the dining table with your family. So today, we want you guys to cook a dish which is a favorite with your family. We want you to channel all those experiences, everything you've learned from your mother, into that one dish. But we want to elevate it to a Masterchef standard. We all want to see how far you guys have come in this competition. So we're going to give you guys 1 hour to cook 4 portions of this special dish, 3 for us judges, and 1 for yourself. You will each be joining us for the special meal in the judges' tasting room today.
I'm a little nervous actually to dine with the judges. I don't want to eat and get criticized for the food.
Cook the best dish today and you will be guaranteed a spot in the finale. It is a massive leap to winning the title of MasterChef Asia. But if your dish is the least impressive, you will have to leave the competition today. So today's cook is really special and it's a very important one, so give it all you've got. You have full access to an open pantry throughout your cook. You have 1 hour. And your time starts now.
This challenge is going to be quite an emotional one. I'm going to have to draw on lots of memories of eating and cooking at home. I look around, I sight a beautiful rack of lamb, and I'm thinking, yeah, every time we cook for guests, I want to do something really complicated, but my mom will just tell me, just do a rack of lamb.
My mom has always inspired me when it comes to cooking. I want to recreate some of mom's amazing dishes. For me, I think dessert, bubur cha cha. But I'm gonna up it one level. I'm going to make it into an ice cream form. I see cream and I see some creme fraiche, so I'm gonna use that as the base of my ice cream. And I see Japanese sweet potato powder. I think this is perfect. This is the sort of flavor I want in my ice cream.
Mum used to cook for my 3 brothers and I, nasi lemak with sambal, with egg, some ikan bilis, and a simple meal that would make us keep opening the rice cooker every hour.
Today I'll be doing a roast rack of lamb that's been brushed with honey mustard and crusted with panko breadcrumbs. That's going to be served with onion cream, some roasted vegetables, and a bit of creme fraiche on the side. The first thing I do, I start to cut up some large, beautiful orange carrots and also halve some onions. I throw them straight into a ripping hot oven at 250 degrees Celsius. Quite recently, my family have been eating lots of roasted veg, so I tend to char the carrots till they're charred on the outside and creamy soft on the inside.
You know, guys, I hope we get all those memories and those experiences from these guys today in their cook.
Yeah, you know, after the video, I'm sure they get very emotional. I'm sure they can really put their heart today.
I'm sure they remember everything in a being a high. They see the mom, they have the challenge, everything come back together, I'm sure.
For sure.
For me, my family, bubur cha cha is one of those things that my mom loves to cook. The flavor is good, and it's one of my favorite things to have from my mom. And my mom's gonna be really proud of this dish. Bubur cha cha is basically a coconut milk that has been steeped together with taro, sweet potatoes, and sometimes pumpkin, flavored with pandan as well. The aroma of the coconut, the aroma of the pandan is just sublime. I'm gonna make sure that my bubur cha cha today is as coconutty as possible, but with the other elements that come from bubur cha cha. To be honest, this is something that I've never ever done before, so I'm taking a really, really big risk today.
I'm making nasi lemak today. I learned my first sambal from my mom, so I've perfected it, so I'm going to do that. This dish has 6 elements: coconut rice, sambal, prawn, egg, cucumber, and fried anchovies. I have to make sure that the flavors of the sambal is balanced. The coconut rice is not too coconutty. There's a lot of balancing that has to take place because this is a dish you have to eat together. So you have to make sure that all the elements go together.
Guys, you know, today's challenge is all about cooking for your family, you know, getting that inspiration from mom's cooking and all that. What would you guys do, Susa?
My mom, her one-pot cooking is always healthy.
Yeah.
There's no fat inside. It's all vegetable.
Yeah.
And you know, that's where I start learning about healthy food.
My mom, just to toast a piece of bread, she can make it burn all the time very consistently.
My mom is actually my inspiration why I started cooking. She cooks some amazing dishes, but the thing that really brings the family together is this big clay pot of assorted mushroom, a sea bass that's deep fried. Gosh, it just makes my mouth water just thinking about it.
I start to clean the lamb rack of all hard fat and silver skin. I want to get the bones as clean as possible. I know that I don't have the time to clean the bones entirely, but I just want to make sure that the judges see that there's some Frenching of the bones.
I need to pay more attention to the sambal because that takes the longest to make. Nasi lemak, it's not a Punjabi dish, but Punjabis love sambal. I'm very passionate about Punjabi food. My food dream is I want to show Punjabis that you can actually cook nutritious Punjabi food in a short time and enjoy it.
So guys, 15 minutes down, 45 minutes to go. Let's go, guys, show us.
With 45 minutes left in the cook, I sear the lamb racks on 3 sides. And that's just to give some great color and to start the cooking process.
Oh, Leong, that smells good here.
It does.
Lamb.
Wow. Is this something that you learned from mom? You've watched her cook this?
I watched her do it a few times, and then after that, I started doing it myself.
Oh, I like the look of that crust. Oh, that's beautiful.
45 minutes to go. Do you think you're going to be overcooked for this kind of meat?
I'm going to cook it just so I get some color on the outside, let it rest, put the crust on top, and then throw it into the oven just to crisp up the
Looking
crust.
forward to see that.
Excellent. Can't wait.
My ice cream's churning in the machine already, so I proceed to taste some of the ice cream base. Unfortunately, I'm not very happy with how it tastes. It's too much creme fraiche in the ice cream. This ice cream has to be about the coconut and the potato flavor, so I decide to make a new batch from scratch. If this ice cream fails, this thing's gonna be a disaster.
I am going to fry my onions. I have to make sure the onions are slightly soft before I add in the blended ingredients. While cooking at this point, I can feel my mom behind me with a little stick saying, make sure the anchovies don't get too brown. The anchovies look good. I strain them through a strainer and I put half of them into the blender to blend with the spices and the belacan. And quickly put that into the onions.
I'm going to make a quick pan sauce, cooking down some of the odds and ends from the trimmings of the lamb rack.
I start on the sauce, so I'm just going to go straight in with mirin and red wine and try to cook off as much alcohol as possible. I add the mirin to the pan and it immediately catches on fire. I did not plan for that to happen, but you know, keep calm under pressure. It's about channeling happy thoughts into the food.
So while making my ice cream, I want to have a base at the bottom to absorb all that ice cream goodness. And what better cake to make than a coconut cake? Because bubur cha cha is about coconut. My dream is to one day open up a patisserie where I make modern desserts and cakes. I've always enjoyed taking on challenges where I have to recreate something traditional into something modern. Pumpkin is something that we have in bubur cha cha in the modern days. So I add a little bit of pumpkin powder into it and then finish off with some oil and lots of salt. Because if there's one thing I want to do is to balance the flavor. Coconut would always taste better with more salt.
The next step is to clean the prawns, devein them, butterfly them, and I want to use breadcrumbs on the prawns to make them crispy. And I have pantry blindness. I cannot find the breadcrumbs. But when I look down, I see something which I'm quite familiar with, rice flakes. We use that in our Indian cooking. I'm worried as to whether it will work properly.
Put a saucepan on the stovetop and I put in a huge chunk of butter. I intend to brown it, turn that into brown butter. Brown butter just adds that hint of nuttiness and richness to anything that you brush it on.
Guys, today's challenge is all about being inspired by your mom, being inspired by your family. 30 minutes down, you've got 30 minutes to go. Come on, guys.
At the halfway point, I have the lamb is nice and caramelized ready.
I brush the honey mustard coating all over the lamb racks and I coat them with panko. I put them onto an oiled baking sheet and in they go into the oven. The lamb racks need to cook in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes to get a nice pink center. And after that, they come out and rest. So with 25 minutes left in the cook, it's just enough time.
So I've made the coconut cake and it's done. I scoop it out, bake it in the oven. It's gonna take about a good 10 minutes or so. 20 minutes left. I have 2 ice cream batches going. I know the first one is chilling quite well, but the taste isn't good. I look at the second one and it's still liquid, but it tastes great. I'm not sure which one I want to serve, and it's starting to make me really worry at this point.